Hey everyone, I'm going to show you one of my favorite dishes to make, orzo pasta. Specifically, this is my 3-cheese orzo with cherry tomatoes, zucchini, and prosciutto. Orzo is really simple and very versatile, and I bet if you try it, you'll like it. Here's what you're going to need. A pound of orzo pasta, 20 to 30 cherry tomatoes, 1 zucchini, a clove of garlic, 2 tablespoons of basil. It's going to be cut into a chiffonade, Asiago, Parmesan, Pecorino Romano, 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 slices of prosciutto, 2 teaspoons of olive oil, 2 to 3 cups of chicken stock, enough to fully cover the pasta, a 1/4 cup of dry white wine, a 1/2 tablespoon of cherry vinegar, salt and pepper. We're going to take our cherry tomatoes, and if you have any bigger ones, just go ahead and cut them in half. You just don't want to bite into a large one. They can be really hot sometimes, so it kind of helps the liquid come out. Anything smaller, I'm just going to put off to the side and continue to cut up any of the bigger tomatoes. Then grab your zucchini and cut the bottom and the top off. We're going to want to slice it into about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch slices. Now once you've got that done, let's go ahead and grab your basil, and we're just going to stack the leaves, and then we'll go ahead and roll it up. Once you've got it rolled up, we're just going to want to go ahead and cut it into really thin strips. This is what's called a chiffonade, and it's going to help us keep the flavor of the basil actually in the herb. Now once we've got that all cut up, go ahead and grab your garlic, and you want to cut the end off, and then take and smash it with your knife. This will allow you to get that papery skin off. Then grab your prosciutto. We're just going to want to roll it up here. Sometimes this stuff gets stuck to the plasticky film it comes with. So just be careful not to rip it too much. And I'm just going to cut it into chunks like you see here. That way I can go ahead and just sprinkle it across the whole dish. You get a little punch of flavor each time you bite into one. I'm going to set those aside and grab my cheeses. And you want to grate about 3/4 of a cup of Parmesan, 3/4 of a cup of Asiago, and about 1/2 cup of Pecorino Romano. And I'm just going to set those aside, and we've got all our prep done. So go ahead and add your 2 teaspoons of olive oil to the pan. And we're going to want to let it heat up to around 350 degrees. Then add your prosciutto in. You should be able to hear it sizzling. You can see how the oil is pooled to the sides. And I'm just going to leave these alone mostly, let them cook and brown on each side. And you'll see that here in a second. You want to aim for about that, nice and brown. Gives them a little bit of crunch. After that, we're going to go ahead and grab our zucchini and add them to the pan. And we're going to do the same thing with these. We're going to brown each side. Make sure to add some salt and pepper. That'll give it some really nice flavor. And we're aiming for that nice caramelization that you can see there. It should bring a lot of flavor to those zucchini. I'm just going to take and put those away for later. And I'm going to grab my cherry tomatoes and add them to the pan. And we're going to cook them till the skin starts to blister and come off. This will allow the juice to release from the tomatoes and combine with the cheese and the chicken stock later. Make a nice thick sauce that clings to the pasta. Then grab your white wine and deglaze the pan. You've got all that nice caramelized flavor at the very bottom. And I'm also going to add a 1/2 tablespoon of sherry vinegar here. And then add your clove of garlic and your 2 tablespoons of butter, some salt and pepper. We're going to let the butter melt and stir it into the rest of the liquid. And we're going to use this to coat our pasta. It's going to give it a really nice flavor. We're going to add our pasta to the pan. And I'm going to stir the pasta in with the liquid, making sure everything's covered. And cook it till some of the pieces of orzo start to brown. Add your chicken stock to the pan. Make sure everything gets covered. If you don't have enough, it's fine to add some water or more chicken stock. And again, we're going to add some salt and pepper here. And cook your pasta to what the directions say is al dente. You're going to see the liquid start to reduce. You'll want to stir and make sure nothing gets stuck to the bottom. And at this point, we're going to want to grab our cheese and add it into our pan. And we're also going to grab our basil. This will be added at the same time. All this is going to get stirred in, and it's going to make a nice creamy sauce, a lot like a risotto. You can turn your heat off at this point while everything gets stirred together. You'll see a creamy look to the bottom of the pan. That's how you know that you've gotten everything mixed in correctly. No large chunks. And then we'll add our zucchini, our cherry tomatoes, and our prosciutto. Once we've got all that added in, we're just going to mix it all together. And that's it. That's my take on orzo. You don't really need a whole lot to make this dish. Even if you just had the cheese, the basil, chicken stock, and the orzo, you're pretty much there. If you try this recipe and like it, please let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more. Also, I'd really appreciate it if you would share this video with someone that you think might like it. Well, that's all for me now, but check back later as I'm going to have a couple more recipes coming up really soon.